Hi. For years I've enjoyed my Fujitsu ScanSnap scanner. So I thought I would take a look at this Brother ADS1500W scanner, which promises, among other things, to be a more compact design and the ability to scan your documents to the cloud. So let's take a look and see how well this Brother scanner lives up to its claims. But first, let's see what's in the box. Here's the front of the unit. You can see its slim, compact design. And note that the unit now has its cover closed. And the cover has a hole through it so you can see the underlying LCD panel. Here is the back of the unit. You can see right here a slot used for scanning plastic cards. Here is a USB slot so that you can scan to a USB memory stick. Here's a USB port to connect to your computer. And here's the connector for your power supply. To use the unit, just unfold the cover and raise the guides to help support the documents. I'm zooming into the LCD display panel, and as you can see, there are several options. You can scan to an FTP address, to a network setting, to a PC, to a USB memory stick, to an email address, or to the cloud. Before you can use your unit, you're going to have to set it up. This is the touchscreen panel, so you can press the buttons and go into the setup settings. However, some of you may find entering the information for the various configuration options a bit tedious using the LCD panel. For example, here's the screen where you would enter in the email address so that you could send a scanned-in document to that email address. However, note the size of the tiny keyboard. As a result, you might find the software available that's installed on your computer to remotely configure the scanner settings to be more useful. Once you've got the scanner set up correctly onto your network, scanning documents is fairly easy. I'm going to load some documents into the 20-page document tray. I'm going to select sending a file to my computer that's on the network, and I'm going to press start. Now you can see how fast the pages are scanned. Note that this is scanning with the automatic removal of blank pages. So the scan rate is reduced when automatically removing blank pages. And with that beep, the scanner is done scanning the documents and sending the document wirelessly to my computer. The scanner comes with a clear sleeve, which you can use when scanning receipts. Just place the desired receipt in the sleeve, insert the sleeve into the scanner, and adjust the paper guides to the width of the receipt sleeve. Then select your option for scanning as normal. If you have a plastic card to scan, say a driver's license or maybe a credit card or some other sort of plastic card that's a little bit too thick to insert into the front of the unit, the scanner has a special slot in the back. When I use it from the actual scanner, it gives me a shortcut on the LCD panel. But pressing that shortcut always gives me an error, and I'm not actually able to use the plastic card reader when interfacing on the scanner itself. I am able to read the plastic card using the software from my computer.
One interesting feature of the scanner is something called Brother Web Connect, which essentially allows you to send your scanned documents to the cloud. For example, you could send your documents to Dropbox, to Evernote, or to Google. However, one thing to keep in mind is that you're not sending the documents directly to your account. You're sending them to Brother, and then Brother is sending them to your account. This means that you must configure and give permission to Brother to have access to each individual cloud account. One thing to keep in mind, though, is that some people might not feel comfortable in giving a third party like Brother access to their cloud accounts. They might have valuable or sensitive information there that they don't want to share with Brother. For example, to send documents to Google, I have to give Brother permission to view and manage any of my documents and files in Google Drive. Some of you may be okay with this, some of you might not. So that's it for a look at the Brother ADS1500W scanner. I enjoyed being able to scan in documents and send them to a computer on the network wirelessly, or to be able to email them to an email address. However, I was disappointed to find out that in order to send documents to the cloud, such as to Evernote or to Dropbox, I essentially had to give Brother access to my cloud service accounts. For those who feel comfortable in doing so, then you might like that feature. I also found the setup more difficult and confusing than it needed to be. The whole business about creating shortcuts seemed complex and error-prone, and that darn plastic card reader slot in the back of the unit, I could never get it to work unless I was scanning a card that had been inserted into the scanner from my computer, which kind of defeats the whole point of having wireless access. I also didn't like the fact that even though here's the power button which turns the unit off, don't press it because doing so erases all of your network connections. You have to re-enter all of the network connectivity information all over again each time you power the unit on. So in general, this is a reasonable document scanner. The unit itself seems to be of good quality. It's compact and solidly built, with wireless scanning functionality, but one that has an interface that's confusing and hard to use. So happy scanning, and thanks for watching. Please like this video, share with your friends, and subscribe to my YouTube channel for more exciting reviews, unboxings, and interesting videos coming your way soon. Thanks a lot.